It shows upcoming. It, it shows upcoming, but we are live.
अच्छा ओके.
I'll just check the audio also.
हाँ, right now it shows that we're live.
Chalo, I think we'll continue with the episode. We'll figure it out if the audio isn't there this time. I think it should be.
थोड़ा सा लैग भी, ऐसा लैग हो के दिख रहा है वीडियो.
वो चलता है, वो बाद में देखेंगे.
म्यूट कर रखा है तुमने शायद.
That we will figure out later. How the quality of the stream.
अच्छा ओके.
Your audio is there.
ओके.
For now, I think that's good enough. Let's just go ahead. Also, let me just stop share and reshare. हाँ. अभी दिख रहा
हाँ स्क्रीन है, दिख रहा है.
है? You're able to see, right? Great. I think in all of the setup part, we have not been able to start this, but yeah. So the personal MBA already added notebook LM, and then so I think the summary says that uh, it's basically helping new business owners understand what are the basics of business, right? So that they don't need to go to a business school. Um, and the very fundamentals that probably even if somebody has done a venture, right, they probably may not be knowing about the basics as such. So this is a
हम्म.
good, my understanding of this book is that from this summary and also from internet. uh, so this must be a comprehensive guide. Now the way we will go into this is uh, we see the summary in the first 100 words, then top the first 300 words, 1000 words, um, and keep expanding the book content till we start getting curiosity. We start getting curious and start asking questions, and then we'll ask questions and then understand the concepts in the book and way faster, right? uh,
Okay.
so I think this offers a self-directed education other than teaching other than classrooms. So where do you want to go with this? Reading the first 100, reading the summary in 100 words.
Where do you want to go with this?
Yep. So we need to go deeper into this, right? Is
Okay. So, yeah, so this gives us a bird's eye view of what we're about to read, and it makes it easy to categorize the information that we will receive once we dive deep into the book. So I think the most interesting part for me would be the how business work, but the how people work and how system works is also interesting. But since I mean, it's business, how business work will be more. I think it will have more in common, despite uh, the writer not being Indian. But how business works is like a collection of principles that will work anywhere in the world. How
hmm.
people work and how systems work might differ based on the
Sure, we'll
geography
go
that
into
you're
that
operating.
later. No worries about that.
Yeah.
So, hmm, probably a little more in detail, 1,000 words, right? Let's go there.
Yes. Okay. Should we just should we read this paragraph internally and then discuss on it, or should we?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever looks interesting to you, we can just have a discussion around
Oh.
that.
Hmm. So it says five parts of every business. Hmm. Sequence of interdependent processes. Okay. If you take away one of these five elements, you no longer have a business. Instead, you have a hobby. Okay.
It also has a name um, for all the five gaps. This is probably a better definition of a hobby in general.
No value created.
No,
Yes.
out of the five parts, you have the first four.
Right away, I'm impressed by the way it has like summarized this already. Like within the first paragraph, it shows like a very good way of
Mm-hmm.
summarizing this.
Yes, agreed. Scam or a So yes, a scam is technically not a business.
No delivery on promises. Yeah. So basically, anything that you remove puts your so-called business into category of a hobby or a non-profit or a scam.
Yeah, closed operation, no profit sufficiency. Going deeper into how businesses work means. Mm,
Okay, so the first pillar is value creation. Okay. Mm, Identify what people don't have enough of and find a way to provide it. Governed by the iron law of market. Okay.
iron law of market that limited by the business is
Maybe we
limited
can
by.
mark this as something that we can research a little bit on later. Iron law of market is a very interesting term to dive into.
So I can add notes here.
Yeah.
What is iron law of market? Right.
Although I think it gives a little bit description after it says iron law of market, which dictates that a business is fundamentally limited by the size and quality of the market it attempts to serve. If a large group of people does not actively want or need what you have to offer, your choice of building a viable business are incredibly slim. Okay. Core human drives: drive to acquire, drive to bond, drive to learn, drive to defend, drive to feel. Okay.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So the next paragraph says whenever a group of people has an unmet need in one of these areas, a market forms to satisfy it.
Hmm.
Well,
Yes.
stand-
This is quite interesting. So this is basically limiting the universe of ideas around what a product or a service could be, right? These
Correct.
five ways. Hmm.
So I'm thinking of everything that I'm reading here. I'm just putting in the perspective of I've wanted for a little bit of time to start a cold press oil business. So
Oh
I'm
yeah. So just for the audience
imposing
to
that.
know, just
Yeah,
explain what was the idea first, and that's a very good point for us to understand these concepts also from from that aspect. So yeah,
yeah. You
what?
want me to explain the idea?
Yeah, just what's your desire? What you wanted to do?
So
And
I mean, cold press oils are, it's something that I think people are getting more and more aware about.
mhm.
Cold press oil basically means oils that are extracted from the seeds or nuts without increasing the temperature beyond the limit. So in Europe, I think the temperature limit is around 40 degrees Celsius. In India, since we're a tropical country, the temperature is around 50 degrees Celsius.
Hmm.
So the logic behind this is that if you extract oil, let's say at 100 degrees Celsius or 120 degrees Celsius, which usually is the way of doing things as of now in India, of based on the expeller machines and all that we have. So it drastically reduces the nutritive value of the oil.
Ah,
Uh,
so it's a
but they
better quality of
work.
oil if it's cold pressed.
Yeah, so cold press oil is the ideal way of consuming oil because it doesn't spoil the nutrients which are present inside the oil, the vitamins and all of that. And I think after COVID, I think there has been a steady increase in the demand of cold press oils. In fact, many of the new businesses that have started recently, like companies like Anveshan and all of that, are a testament to this. And it's something that can be done in a small scale capacity also,
And so
which
that's why you are
in India,
attracted to that as a business
yes,
like opportunity,
not
if
as a
that makes sense.
full-fledged business in my personal view, but it can be done as a full-fledged business. But what I was more interested in is doing this like as a maybe a hobby, but with some incentives.
Not this hobby, right?
No, not that not that exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
not that
I
hobby
understood.
definition, but like doing it as maybe doing it on weekends,
Mm.
something like that.
And getting
Yeah,
some part-time income or stuff like that, right?
yeah, yeah. Any amount that you can generate, that's the benefit of doing this.
Great, great. So yeah. Hmm.
Value is
Oh,
typically delivered in the 12 standard forms,
12
which
standard
include product, services, shared
service,
resources,
resources,
subscriptions. Okay.
resales, lease, agency. Uh,
Audience aggregation. So if I was if I was a event manager or something like that, then I would fall in the audience aggregation category, How many people I can call to any event would be my
Not yours.
product.
That's not your responsibility. You're offering a service. Um,
Oh, yeah, true, true.
Event organization service is what you're offering.
Yeah, so that's not directly related to audience aggregation. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Offers modular, allowing them to bundle smaller offers into a single large package.
Hmm.
So from what I like, in my point of view, when you visit a website to buy a product, they have these offers on like a bunch of products together, like a bundle of them together.
Hmm.
So if I'm selling, let's say,
In my understanding, the bundling is more important to complete the workflow for a client. So, for example, if I am using a video editing software, right? So
hmm,
the bundling would target all of the features or value parts that I need for a video editing process, right? So it
hmm,
will add features in this product for bundling whatever features I require for the video editing part. So first of all, uploading a video, right, inside the inside the app is an important part of it.
hmm,
Then cutting the video, trimming the video, enhancing audio. So enhancing video and audio are two different parts, right? But
hmm,
it will have both kind of uh, features inside it. It makes more sense. Then what makes even more sense is people are editing videos mostly to upload on social media, right? That's the 90% of videos edited in a video editing software are supposed to go on social media. So
correct,
adding a feature where you can add it to Twitter or YouTube or Instagram directly is a valuable feature, right? So that's how
right,
bundling is usually done in my mind. Like that's how I understand it.
correct, correct. Yeah, that's I think is a fair assessment of that.
Or say, for example, if somebody is offering an education admission, right? Some university is offering education uh, so in the admissions round, they will also offer insurance, not insurance, sorry, loans, education loans, right? That's a very good thing to
Hmm.
bundle. So service which is an education service is connected with a capital or a loan kind of a
Right.
value. So
I
that's
think
how.
even within education, they also they always bundle tuition with the extracurricular activities and like within within service industry, you can also bundle these things together. Like if you look at school as an example,
Hmm.
school don't usually just ask for tuition fees. They bundle all these things together. That there will be tuition fees, there will
Yeah,
be
in fact,
extracurricular activity and all of that. It's like
yep,
bundled
yep,
together.
yes, yes, totally. And then offering, say, books and stationery, right? So in a lot of schools, books are provided with the admission to the kids, right? In
Right.
in public schools, where.
But I think that's not a correct example of bundling because usually in bundling you have the option of opting out. But nowadays I don't think schools get that option of opting out of all of these things. I think your example was a better one about the services being bundled together in such a way. Because if I don't have a social media account, I can still avail the initial part of the service. But if I happen to have a social media account, I can use the bundling feature.
Yeah, I mean, not going into much detail,
Ah,
the companies decide if you can bundle XYZ things or not. So whether it's a compulsory opt-in or it's not, that's usually taken up by the company itself in the way they create the offers, right?
so the interesting thing is it says you can bundle the offers and you can unbundle them. So it's like you, depending upon your situation,
Yes,
use both the options or any of them, whatever is necessary.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Critically important assumptions. Okay.
Interesting. Rather than having a dashboard, you need to have a assumptions. So in growth, since I am a growth professional, we actually work on these critically important assumptions as growth hypothesis, and then try and test these out with different experiments or A/B tests to either prove them true or false.
So critical, it's a very interesting term, critically important assumption. So it says that you're assuming, but it's something very important for a business to survive. Like
Yes,
it's still an assumption, but
for example, in your case, the cold press uh, oil is something which a critically as a important assumption for you is that cold press oil is should be more premium in than normal oil, right? So it's certainly healthy. There are scientific studies to prove that. But is there a business demand for it to be premium? Otherwise, right, you want to sell it on a higher price than the normal oil that we
hmm,
use, right? So that's an assumption that that you have in mind, and you need to outline it in your bullet points.
yeah, that's
In,
something that I'm relying on either consciously or unconsciously.
yes, the other thing is that people around you, uh, people around you, um, because you're planning on selling this locally, right? So people around
Yes.
you have that demand, or the locality that you are interested in selling, there are buyers for this kind of thing. So there's actual demand.
True,
That's another assumption that you are already making. So you need to verify
true.
all these things, like note it down as a list, and then keep different kinds of experiments or look at data and then say, okay,
Develop
is
metrics
this?
to check it again and again, maybe.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
Now the other thing is minimal economically viable offer, which is MVP. You must, that's a very common term, right? It's the same thing. So MVP is the product, and the way you offer the product is the offer. So which is Migo, that's what I am calling it.
So is it about pricing? Like, is it about pricing the product?
Pricing is a part of the offer. So offer
Okay.
includes what are you offering, right? If
Okay, the services and the price itself. Okay.
offer usually, so for example, wait, let me just show you an offer. Say Netflix, right? Now, yeah, so this is the offer. One
Okay.
unlimited movies shows, right? 149 rupees, cancel at any time. And rather than this, wait, let me see pricing. Let me just search. Oh, rather, let me show you my product, right? That would be even better. Network. I'll show you what an offer is. See, so again, like this is I we need a better example, to be honest. Tell
No,
me
I think
about
this is
us.
a good enough. I can see the
No, no,
services
no,
that
no,
you're
no,
offering.
no, no, no. I'll give you a better option. Amazon is a good. place to see options, or not even Amazon to be honest. Um, any software service that you use is a good example. So say, um, so pricing page, Supabase. Let's say Supabase. Yeah. So these are again not offers. Come on, man. Why is it so difficult? I've seen offers to hundreds of services. Uh, anything. हाँ ठीक
Are
है.
you looking for like a subscription based service
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that?
yeah, yeah. API, AP file. Let's see AP file. Right. So if you go to the pricing page, huh. So these are the offers when
Okay.
you choose plans, right? So these are the four different offers. Pricing is a part of the offer. Pricing is just this part,
Okay.
and the whole offer can is a very creative plus business thing to do. So you need to do,
And I
and you
think we
can,
can see a good example of like bundling here also because
yes,
it really.
that's what I wanted to show you. So you can see what bundling is, and then you can bill annually, monthly, and then the pricing changes, but the offer
Mhm.
stays. The offer structure is the same, right?
Right.
So let's move ahead, and then you do a shadow test, is what they are saying. So basically, test your MVP,
Okay.
right? So that's what I was telling you also. If you can just start the production and try and sell 5 to 10 bottles first. That's the target,
Mhm.
right? In a limited amount of time. That's what you try and
So
do.
that would qualify as a shadow test.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're just setting up a minimum offer to do this. So that's the idea.
Interesting.
So marketing, earning attention and generating demand. Offering value is not enough if no one knows that you exist. So marketing is art and science of finding people who are actively interested. So my whole career has been around, mostly around
Marketing.
marketing. Not mostly, but yeah, I've done a lot of roles. But yeah, right now I'm doing primarily marketing and sales. So the primary role is that you potential customer available attention. So the currency that we use here is attention basically.
Hmm.
So there are various ways of measuring attention. So whatever that is, we try and do that.
Interesting.
And in today's time, because attention is very scarce on internet, right? If your channel is internet based, uh, ad campaigns, or say content or organic and stuff like that, then your offer needs to be unique to
Hmm.
get attention, to even get to the point where people know that okay, you exist and can explore your page. So yeah, your service.
Okay. It
So
says
you'll,
skilled marketers do not waste resources trying to appeal to everyone. They focus strictly on probable purchaser. Okay.
yes. So you
So it's not
identify
our
probable purchasers, and then target. So
okay.
rather than in your case, rather than going to every house in your colony, um, actually in your case, every house in your colony is a very probable purchaser, right? You can say that I live nearby and then I want to sell this.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I don't want to go too far away from my colony to sell it. Like that would be not a probable purchaser. Like if I go to a different city to sell my product, that would reduce the probability of them purchasing my product.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's one way to define it. And even in your
Mm.
city, probably young people, people who have started earning well, right? high income households
Hmm.
are a target. So you don't want to go to low income
And
societies
people who already have a selected, like people who are
who are
already
health
buying.
conscious. Yeah, who are health conscious and buying health
uh,
alternatives, right? Healthy and more costly alternatives to whatever they are using or eating is probably
and
a
if somebody is already purchasing cold press oil from somewhere, that will
that's
remove
an
them from
even
my.
that's an even yeah. So you are then trying to finding a more specific segment. So there are multiple
Yes.
ways to do that, and then you target them and see where your hypothesis is making sense, which segment is what you are, what from a probable purchases you start finding the real purchases. And then you also focus the messaging on the desired end result is what also they are saying.
Okay.
So you are not talking about so you won't say the cold press oil is more healthy. Not everybody is, right? That may be so some people may be interested in it for safety purposes.
Right. They don't want.
They don't
They're
want
not interested in health as much as they're interested in avoiding using bad products. Like that would be their main concern.
yes, some people who have diabetes. Yeah, so what is the end result? End result is uh,
A
you
non-toxic product that you can trust, perhaps, or maybe something healthy
non
compared to
carcinogenic. You don't get carcinogenic stuff inside the this oil. um, this oil is uh,
freshly pressed, pressed
freshly
today.
pressed. Yes, fresh today. You can control the inputs, right? So that's another thing. You bring your own input, so you can control the supply of raw
Very
material.
interesting thing itself, which is usually a distinctive experience or emotion related to a core human drive.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so actually what we are discussing is more on the feature side, right? But
Yeah.
this an example of this actually makes more sense would be uh, you don't want your children to you are focusing on the on getting them healthier food, but 90% of your food, if your oil is not correct, right? If your oil is not healthy, your children are not eating good healthy food even at home, right?
Right.
So that is probably an emotion or an experience that people are feeling. It may have nothing to do with what you are selling, right?
Interesting.
You may be selling a very a more costlier version of a pan instead of an oil, but the messaging can still translate the same way. That
Hmm.
makes sense.
Nice. Yes, yes. An economist, Theodore Levitt, famously noted, people don't buy quarter-inch drills, they buy quarter-inch holes. Okay.
To build an audience, businesses offer provide free value.
Okay, so again, a very interesting paragraph. It says to build an audience, business often provide free value, maybe like a free sample or something like an access to a website for a limited time or something like that. So
Hmm.
your screen just went away for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, just a second. Now it's there.
Yeah, I can see it now. So it says provide a free value which earns attention. So you earn attention by giving them something free initially, yeah, which triggers a psychological desire to reciprocate. Okay.
Hmm.
Pair this with asking for permission to follow up, and you build a powerful low cost marketing asset. So now we get an idea about
How this
the
is
free
done?
sample that's there, which is you just have this sample, try it, and then it induces a feeling to reciprocate or something
Yes,
like that.
yes.
Interesting.
Also, people get to experience, people get to know you and know your identity, right? When you are offering the free value, they know more about you. They have more time to process the way I am talking to this person on a time to, I'm using this
Mhm.
product. So the recall value and the
Actually,
stickiness is
I went to a fair recently. Well, not recently, some time back, but I was just just watching the shops that were there, and one of the shops was, I think, selling something like maybe a milkshake powder or something, and they were offering free samples. And I
Yes.
took it, and then you as a customer, once you consume something, you feel the need of reciprocating. If they had a
Sometimes not even that, that's a little extreme, but at least you know what the product is about. You have had an
yeah,
experience of the using the product, right? Rather than
correct.
just reading about it or somebody
Then
telling you
seeing the
about
packaging, you actually have a taste of the
it.
product.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
interesting. Finally, to convert attention into the action, every marketing message must have a compelling hook, a
Hmm.
single phrase describing the primary benefit, and a crystal clear call to action.
Hmm. So a hook is the primary
We could
benefit.
offer it like cosmetic type, something related to that. Yeah.
So when you have convinced, some whole objective of marketing is to note people to notice you, right? And then take an action of buying it, right? So that's the marketing driving it itself to sales, as you said right before.
Mhm.
So
So,
this
would
is
saying that some offer runs out today, is that would that fall in the call to action category? Like, if I say that some offer is running and it's going to run out today, you have 5 hours or something
ha
like
so
that.
you if the marketing campaign needs to ask you to do something, buy this thing in your stores nearby, or
Hmm.
uh, get
Oh, okay.
registered, right? You
So
need a
not just
call to action.
reducing urgency, but even saying that you can buy this in stores near you,
So there are
or
two types of marketing campaigns. One is the reach campaigns, right? Or awareness
Mhm.
campaigns, and the other ones are conversion campaigns. So the reach awareness campaigns are just like TV ads, when we say it,
Mm,
right? When we see them, so an ad of thumbs up or a Coca Cola would only show you the Coca Cola and everything around it, but won't ask you anything, right? Is not asking you to do anything at that point.
mm,
The other campaigns are conversion campaigns, which ask you to take an action, and that's what they are talking about.
okay,
There you take an action, like you are supposed to take an action. So register now button is there in the ad, right? Or
correct.
stuff like that. All those things are conversion campaigns,
In
and that's
cinemas near you,
uh,
running right now in cinemas near you. Yeah.
running. So that's not a call to action. The call to action is book your ticket now.
Oh, okay, okay,
That's the difference. Call to action is asking the audience to do something directly.
okay. Interesting.
Building trust and securing the transaction begins with the prospect, ends with the paying. It's the only point where actual cash flows into the company. The sales is where cash flow is positive. This is the only action. Mm.
Mm. The foundational prerequisite of any transaction is trust, as the customer will not part with their hard-earned money unless they believe you can deliver on your promises. Okay.
Pricing uncertainty or prices are arbitrary and malleable. Okay. So there's a pricing uncertainty principle which says that all prices are arbitrary. So there is
They
no,
can change anytime.
they can change depend on uh, what the demand is,
Okay. Yeah, based on demand. Yeah.
right? How much is the demand? So that's what, no, cold press oil is still oil. Um, but because you are adding a value to it, you're making it more healthy for me, you can charge a higher price for it.
Hmm.
So that's what
Correct.
replacement cost, how much it costs to replace. So if I go on creating cold press oil for my own home, what's the cost to that? What is the time cost, effort cost, and other kinds of costs involved for me, right?
Interesting. So rather than buying cold press oil from me, if you get a machine which is really cheap and which can do it for you, you would much rather buy that machine instead of taking oil from me.
If
Is
I
that
have,
the?
if my time also has some value, right?
Mm, okay.
My effort also has some value. I may not be interested in doing everything. I don't want to stitch my clothes. I don't want to build
Interesting.
my own electronics, right? there's
Yes.
there's a cost to that also. So replacement cost is that. Market
Okay.
comparison is how other cold press oil sellers are selling in the market. That's a market comparison. So even if everybody else is selling it at 2000 rupees per liter, for example, but your manufacturing cost is only 500 rupees, you can still sell at 1000 or 1500 and are still cheaper than the market, if the pricing model is looking at that is this, right?
Right.
So there are different pricing methods in different markets and different
So this
commodities.
part is basically saying based on these four, these
Ways
are four
somebody can
factors you have.
benchmark your price. Is your price cheaper or costlier?
Okay.
But it's arbitrary. These four numbers could be different for a single product. So the replacement cost for cold press oil per liter is say 1000. The market could be 2000 because people don't
Right.
want to make it for whatever reason, right? Um, and then the market is, for example, right now the OTT platforms cost is cheaper, and they will
Mm-hmm.
slowly increase over time as more people get onto that, right? So
Interesting.
so the market itself is increasing price over time in that case. So all of the OTT platforms will increase their costs. Discounted cash flow, net present value, how much ongoing cash flow it produces. So this is basically how to run the business, how much you need to keep the um keep the price, minimum price,
Okay, so that I can buy next batch of seeds or
so
like
that so
just
the
to
owner
operate.
can run his business profitably. Or
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
what's the minimum number there? Value comparison, who is this particularly valuable to? So somebody may be able to pay you more for that oil compared to other people, right? So that's value
Yeah. Yes.
comparison. So it depends on who. So for some people, if you are selling it to very niche people, like billionaires, right, only making oil for billionaires, they would be able
Mm,
to pay 5000 for liter also.
yeah.
So the value for them is way more. The value comparison is
Interesting.
the optimal pricing method because it bases the price on the worth of the unique characteristic of the specific buyer.
Okay.
This is achieved through value based selling, which involves asking strategic questions to establish and frame the worth of your solution. And this is education based selling. So if in this example you're selling to billionaires, you don't expect to call them and give you an order. That's not how it's going to be, right? You would probably tell them why, ask a lot of questions, and then tell them why this product is so important for them and why buying it from you is way more important,
Right.
right? What are you doing exceptional compared to other people? So basically you are educating them on the value of the product, and also why should they buy this from you, right? And then
Interesting.
why is there a need for them to buy? They're also talking about that. So you ask questions,
Mm,
you understand their situation. So this is usually done for very high value sales. So products which have
right.
very high value sales, they are usually uh, uh, sold like this.
Got it. To close the sale, you must identify and eliminate barriers to purchase, such as objections regarding costs, efficacy, or difficulty. These are best overcome through framing social proof testimonials. Okay, so the comments that we see regarding any product on Amazon or something like that would fall under the social proof testimonials of the people that have ordered the product, and it came to them in a good packaging, the product was okay. So these are all testimonials, I think. And robust risk reversal strategy, such as strong money back guarantee. Okay, risk reversal. Okay, got it. Cancel anytime.
Yes.
Risk reversal. Okay, interesting.
So do you want to explore this framing part more? I can give you an
Yeah,
example of
framing part, I'm not entirely clear on uh, what exactly does that mean.
what is framing uh, to close the sale. Need
How
more.
does framing help in eliminating barriers of purchase, perhaps?
ठीक है, I have written this.
Yeah, yeah. I
What
think that's good
else?
enough.
Value delivery, fulfilling promises, and creating delight. Value delivery encompasses everything required.
To complete sequence of the operational step is called value stream. To maximize efficiency, businesses should diagram their value stream to identify and eliminate unnecessary steps or awkward transitions, keeping the entire process as short as streamlined as possible. I think this reminds me of that McDonald movie. Have you seen it, Bhishma? Where
Yes, I have.
yeah, so it's like that guy who goes into the kitchen and contextualizes everything that fries have to be fried. The potato fries
I
have to
think
be
the
fried for
name is
this.
Founder or something. Yeah,
The founder, yeah,
the Founder. Yes,
yeah.
I have seen this. I have. Value delivery encompasses everything required. Paying customers is happy. Complete sequence value stream to maximize businesses diagram their value stream to identify unnecessary and awkward tensions. In I have seen this in app building ecosystems where uh, you work on primarily UX flow of the
Hmm.
customer after they pay. So you basically try and optimize the UX flow for all the different workflows that they are trying to achieve. So
Mm.
it should have minimum number of clicks. The buttons that are pressed should clearly say what they're supposed to do for the customer.
Okay,
And the UI placement should be in a way that it's intuitive and easy to use. That's usually
makes
what
sense.
they work in. Value delivery. So
Makes sense. Customer satisfaction is governed by expectation effect, characterized by quasi expectation. Quality is equal to performance minus expectation. To
hmm.
achieve high perceived quality, the performance of your offering must surpass the customer's expectation. The best way to consistently surpass expectation is to provide an unexpected bonus or delight, much like a Zappos surprise overnight shipping upgrades. Okay. Maybe like the credit card offers that we receive on that you're eligible for this now.
Yeah, instead of giving that at the start of the of buying, right, they just introduce new things. So you may keep one or two bundles out of the offer table, and once you subscribe you may get 100 free. So 100 free credits you get, right, in a lot of AI
Mhm.
apps. That's a good way to. So it should be unexpected. The thing is that it should be unexpected bonus or this, and that's one of the
Oh,
ways to increase quality. So again, either you increase the performance or you reduce the expectation to increase quality, right? So if you don't tell a lot, and once they buy you give them surprises and gifts, right, and free bonuses and stuff like that, that way you are reducing the expectations and the quality
mm,
increases. But then you can't reduce it to a point where people don't buy it from you in the first place, right? So the anything that you're giving here as as an extra should not be a core feature based on which people are making buying decisions. It could be something secondary. So for example, in Avengers, if an Avengers movie is there, right, and you know all of the big actors are there, and then another actor comes in, right, the Daredevil actor comes in,
makes
the new
sense.
character comes in, then that's an additional surprise. But if in no way you are dependent on that actor, but say imagine if there's a single actor movie, if there's a Salman Khan movie, and you don't know that Salman Khan is there in the movie, right? And they hide it till the end, then obviously you are not going to go in the first place and buy the ticket, right? So you can't
Mm.
remove Salman Khan. You can
So
probably
it can't
introduce.
be a too big of a surprise or too little of a surprise also.
No,
Yeah.
it cannot be a core feature or a core value.
Okay.
It can be a secondary value that you add as a surprise. Is what I have understood from experience.
Nice. Satisfying customers consistently relies on predictability, which is achieved through uniformity, consistency, and reliability to serve more people without increasing direct human involvement, which doesn't scale. Businesses must build systems that allow for duplication
Hmm.
and multiplication. So does like the after sale customer service falls into this category only? Like is it related to customer
Yes,
satisfaction? I think
after sales is exactly this value delivery.
okay.
That's one big part of your business. How do you deliver the value? So all the support systems, account managers, all the softwares or platforms that you build so that users can use, all comes under value delivery.
Interesting.
Let me know if you have understood this and there are no more
Yeah, yeah.
questions.
Let's move on to the fifth point. Finance, profit margin. Okay. So it says Kaufman opposes the traditional academic obsession with profit maximization, which often nickel and dimes customers and drives them away. Instead, he advocates for sufficiency, reaching the point where the business generates enough profit to make it worthwhile for the owners to continue. You can track financial sufficiency using target monthly revenue. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I remember even in school when we were taught about my chosen subject was commerce, and
Hmm.
the subject in within commerce called business administration,
Oh, you did
and
a course on
that's
that. Great.
exactly what they did. Talk about profit maximization and business of basically exist for profit maximization and all of that. I think sufficiency is a positive word compared to profit maximization. I think at their core they both mean the same thing, but this is a more positive spin on.
Not really. So this is so what Kaufman is talking about is more of a practical advice that you will give to any business. So if you go to a business mentor and ask them what should I focus on right now, so the first thing they'll tell you is sufficiency. That cash flow needs to exist. You need to stay in the business. You need
Okay.
money, like real cash, to pay for all your expenses, your salary, your people's salary, and everything else, so that a business can run enough number of cycles,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then profit maximization is not something that you would do with a small business or a new business. uh, uh, Profit maximization solely pushes you to think from a maximum profit as a only north star metric and then pushing that, whereas profit could be maximized in future also, not in present terms, right? There are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
strategies where you would, so a lot of industries going through, including AI and OTT platforms, right? In India, for example, or EV for that matter, EV vehicles are offering products at low prices, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, that's not profit maximization. If they were following the textbook advice or were obsessed with profit, they would probably increase the prices right now and keep offering the international prices that they use. So Netflix did that. Netflix, if you know, for the longest time was offering its international prices in India also, and there was nobody who was taking Netflix subscription, right? Or with one
Yes.
subscription 10 people were looking at it, using it, right? So they have reduced the prices, they changed the currency from dollar to rupee, all because so that people can adapt and adopt the product
Mm,
and
mm.
product class first. So people don't even watch OTT as of now. Now it's a little bit there, but the time that I am
Mm.
talking about, people were not even in a habit of using
Yes,
OTT
I
platform.
remember reading news. You've given a perfect example actually of Netflix, but there were like other companies also, like Amazon. I remember reading in newspapers, and this is a little while back, saying that these companies are not making profit.
Yes.
These are not profitable yet. So I think that's a perfect way of explaining the difference between profit maximization and sufficiency. I think they were sufficient, but they were working on the principle of
So
sufficiency
they were, no,
that they have
that's a
to go around.
bad example, honestly.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because sufficiency here needs to reach a point where you generate profit for owners to
Okay.
continue.
Continue. Yeah.
They were doing negative, they were doing losses.
Yeah, I understand that they were,
They were burning
offsetting, they were
the
losing the
investors'
profits from
money.
other branches.
They were
Yeah,
going
yeah,
in the opposite direction to the extreme where they were burning investors' money to gain customers for now, so that in future
yeah.
when they increase prices, when they have enough number of customers and then they increase prices and the people don't churn, then they will make a profit in future. So that's the
Interesting.
plan. And yeah, it's going extreme in around the sufficiency argument.
Yeah, interesting. Very
Right.
interesting. I was not hoping that this point would be so much interesting. Finance, I was hoping would be more dry, but
No,
this is very dry.
in business it's more practical, logic based understanding that you should have. You should have clear understanding why you are doing what, right, rather than
Yes.
just going through a lot of this metrics. So you can track financial sufficiency using target monthly revenue. Yeah, this is probably the four methods to increase revenue. Increase the number
Yes,
of
I think one more interesting thing about finance is that, like this line that Kaufman lists only four methods to increase revenue. I think it's a summarization of the earlier points that we read. Like
increase the
increasing the number of customers directly relates to marketing and sales. Increasing the average size would relate to like your increasing in production size, perhaps like increasing your capability of production. So I think it's a summarization of improvement in all earlier factors, which will reflect on your
this is a direct interpretation of the uh, cash flow equation. So
mm,
your cash flow would be number, one transaction, what price you are charging for a transaction, into number of customers, into
hmm.
number of times that transaction they are having,
Yeah.
right? So this is playing on all those parts.
Summation of all that.
So
Yes.
all those factors, it's you can upsell, so you can increase the transaction amount, you can increase the number of transactions, or you can increase the number of customers. And the fourth point and the second one, in my understanding, are kind of same.
Mm,
GPIs
interesting.
and lifetime acquisition cost. So you come at a acquisition cost in business. This is usually called CAC. So here it's AAC, but the
Oh yeah, I remember this term from I think Shark Tank and all of that, where they
yeah. So
ask
in
what's
Shark Tank they discuss LTV. This is LTV, and this is CAC. So CAC is if
so
it,
what's the LT? What's the lifetime value